What's going on, y'all? This is Dana Polk Jr. Master Executive 8. And in this video, I'm going to use one example to tell you how to deal with people who are secretly in competition with you. And I say secretly because honestly, I'm not even sure if they recognize that they're in competition with you, but the way that the conversation goes will let you know if you're paying attention. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I don't want you to compete back. Like when you start to compete back, that's when you enter a game that you'll lose every time. Because if your competition goes as far as being better than them, then you're limited in growth. But if your competition is yourself, then your growth is unlimited. So let me give you the example, right? So someone may call you to check on you, right? So the conversation will go a little, it'll start out normal. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Blah blah blah. Right? So you ask them, how's everything going? They tell you, what's going on in their life, all the new and great things that are going on, and that's awesome. So of course, naturally, you want to explore more. You want to ask more questions. You know what I'm saying? You want to, um, you're taking part in that joy that they have from growing. You know what I'm saying? So you're asking questions. You know what I'm saying? You're 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 finding out. Hey, what led to this growth. You know what I'm saying? Like you're naturally interested in what they have to say, and you ask questions because you want to find out more. You want to explore. You want to take part in the joy that they experience from growing. Right. This is where you find out that they're being secretly competitive. So after all of that, you know what I'm saying, you find out they're doing great, you ask them more questions, and you congratulate them or whatever. Like you give them props on their elevation, and you know what I'm saying, you happy for them, right? This is how you know that they're in secret competition with you. When they ask you how you're doing and you tell them, and all of that you did as far as asking them questions and trying to enjoy and that what they're doing, they they don't ask you any questions. Like they don't really care. I mean, they really don't care about how you're doing. They just want to kind of rub it in your face that they're doing better than you are. You know what I'm saying? Like I honestly, I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I do know for sure that it's competition, because the whole conversation wasn't about how I'm actually doing. The whole conversation was about how you're doing and how you're doing so much better than I am. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, you tell them how you're doing, everything that you got going on, and there's like no response. Like nothing. They don't ask any further questions. They don't want to enjoy. They don't want to take part in nothing you got going on. They just want you to hear about what they have going on and how it's so much better than what you're doing. And this is just one of these conversations that I had with this particular person. Yeah, I mean, there are several others that plainly showed that they were in competition with me. And like, the reason I don't understand is because I'm not competing with anybody. Like, you're probably not competing with anybody either. But this is the thing that I don't want you to get caught up in. I don't want you to get caught up in the competition. Don't compete back. You know what I'm saying? Like if you notice that they don't want to take part or care about anything that you have to say, then you can leave it there. You ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying? You ain't even gotta necessarily cut them off. Because the craziest thing is, most of the time, this is coming from somebody that's very, very, very close to you. Very close to you. Someone who you wouldn't even think would be in competition with you. Like you may even asking like, why is this person competing with me? Like we supposed to be on the same team. You know what I mean? And I think there's a strong difference between healthy competition and me just wanting to be over you no matter what. Like I don't want to see you win. I don't want to feel like you're doing better than I am. That's the vibe you'll get. And when you get that vibe, just know that they're secretly competing with you. Now, what does all of this have to do with mental alchemy? So, the principle of rhythm, right? Not knowing the principle of rhythm and how you can swing to the left or swing to the right, you can swing towards that competing with them, or you can swing towards, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, I don't know, not competing with them. You know what I'm saying? And I guess what I'm really getting at here is like no response at all. Like you just keep doing what you're doing. Like don't focus on, oh, I'm not going to compete with this person. Don't even focus on it. Like I'm telling you not to compete, but don't focus on it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Like don't let your pendulum swing to the left or to the right. Let your pendulum stay balanced and right in the middle. And just keep moving forward with what you're doing. Like so, like even when I talk to this person, I'm not, you know what? Yeah, keep your pendulum on the side of not competing with them. I will say that. Don't let your pendulum swing to competing with them. You know what I'm saying? Like continue to not compete with them, but don't focus on it. You know what I'm saying? Just keep doing what you're doing. You know, everything that you told them they're doing, you see they don't care about. I mean, you could even, if you really want to go there, don't even share what you're doing. Especially if you see that they don't care and they're not even asking questions, because sometimes in that case they might just be getting information on you just so they can talk about you. You know, it's literally people that call you to get information just so they can talk shit about you to other people that you know, just to tell them how bad you're doing or how much you're not moving forward. You know what I mean? Like they like to see you below them. They like to see you not winning. You know what I mean? So that's how you deal with people who are secretly competing with you. You don't compete back with them. You just continue to compete with yourself. You know, challenge yourself to be better than you were yesterday, 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. However your competition is, challenge yourself to be the only person that should be your competition is the man in the mirror. Don't compete with other people. You know what I mean? Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm not saying is if you playing ball, I'm not saying just let them score all over you, you know what I'm saying? Or y'all playing chess, or y'all playing, I don't know, some sort, y'all in some actual competition, you know what I'm saying, that's healthy. You know what I'm saying? Me and you just happen to be in the same arena doing something, and you just happen to be there. And like, kind of like by default, by me being in the same arena with you, I'm competing. I'm not making up some competition just to be in competition with you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when you're in competition with yourself, you really just don't have time to compete with other people. You really don't have time for it. You know what I mean? You don't have time for it. And you want to see other people win. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when they're telling you about how much they're winning, you're like, man, I'm glad that they winning. You know what I mean? I'm glad that they stepped their game up. I'm glad that they're doing better and better. But you don't get that same response. No, that person is secretly competing with you. I mean, they may always be trying to one up you. Like, this is something else this person has done. We were talking about something to do with crypto, and I think I told them like how much of this particular crypto I bought. And they was like, "Oh, well, I bought this much." You know, I was like, I was just laughing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, man, there's dudes out here with money that we'll probably never have in our entire lifetime. So like, how can you brag about how much money you got or you put into something like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, knowing that there's people with what you make in a year, they make that in a day or a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, I guess that's what kind of can keep you humble. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that you you're your only competition at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go around comparing yourself with others. You know what I mean? In an unhealthy way. Let me put it that way. In an unhealthy way. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a healthy way to compare yourself to others, to somebody else, especially if they're where you're trying to go. You know what I mean? You can see, hey, all right, cool. If I want that result, this is what I have to do. If I compare myself to that person. You know what I mean? But then you bring it back. You know what I mean? Because you got to realize that you and that person are still, are not on the same path, and you are where you are. And you just do the best that you can in your zone, in your field, in your lane. Because the only competition in your lane is you. No one else can be you. No one else can compete with you in your kingdom, because that's your kingdom. So knowing that, you don't have to. You know what I mean, with knowing that, everybody else has their kingdom, you're happy to see them thrive in their kingdom. You're not going into their kingdom trying to one up them or trying to make them feel smaller than you so you can feel better about yourself. So yeah, man, that's how you handle people who want to compete with you secretly, possibly even unconsciously. Like, they don't even realize they doing it. I mean, so you ain't even necessarily got to make them aware of it. You know what I'm saying? Just let them. You know what I'm saying? Let them. You ain't even got to necessarily cut them off. You know what I'm saying? Let them. Some of these people you literally can't necessarily cut off. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people you can cut off, but there's some people that you know what I'm saying? Like, they kind of in your life. You know what I'm saying? You ain't necessarily got to be all tight with them, close with them, but they're there. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's it. Talk to y'all later.